Is day 1024, 1024 of the Arukh HaShulchan Yomi. Please let us sponsor come and share more of the Arukh HaShulchan Yomi. Please call me directly. Very greatly appreciated. Today we're doing Simon Pei Dalid. We're there. Sif Chafei to Lamed Beis. It's so long. Where we? It's so weak. It's on Pei Dalid. Then beyond. Okay. That's where it goes. Chafei. Beis Yishmer, those that say the Hadam Mutam Kli a Kli, that which allowed to not be choshesh for a worm if it goes from vessel to vessel. That's only if the second keli has just beverages. If it has food, also it's forbidden because they're going to go on top of the food. This is astonishing. When there's food mixed with the beverage, that's the way of growing. We're assuming that the food was there to begin with. Even it goes onto the walls of the second keli. But not a problem. If it went out onto the food which is mixed with the mashke. Furthermore, one of the ancients, Rabbi Yerucham, explicitly the mutter ten believe me kli chametz l'tavshil. You can pour it from a vinegar vessel directly to a cooked dish, into a dish which is tavshil yesh ba'ochlin, and a cooked dish has food. Therefore, we know not concerned with such a chumrah. The bracket says the Prima Garden also is that way. B'yam b'si flam ches. We certainly not concerned. Maybe it went on the outside of the vessel, or specifically in the rim of the vessel, came aboard, and so to in a cistern, a similar thing. We haven't seen that they went out and separated there. Only within a vessel, they normally go on the wall on the inside. Not on the rim of the vessel, and certainly not on the back of the keli. Nevertheless, those worms have misavim, which generate bechometz and vinegar, b'shar mashkin, other beverages, sheish and musknafayim. They have some form of wings. And they fly out of the beverage, will veer into the air, and fall back again. Since the derech is to leave the confines of the vessel. Those which don't have wings. The Prima Guardian writes the name of them, Damesk Eliezer. It's very much astonishing. The Eichish them too, why didn't our Rabbeim teach us this halacha, which is very prevalent? We see in vinegar lots and lots of mosquitoes with wings. I think these are fruit flies. That's pretty sure that's what we're talking about. They're more recognizable. They leave such a stumbling block in front of the Jewish people. Furthermore, the Kfir Rose saying chalushim. Also, we say that it seems that they're very weak. They have no power to fly from the air, from the water to the air. That sounds like an answer, that they don't fly. I guess that he's saying that since we don't find this halacha in the Rishonim, and they are very weak, that's the thing with chus, why people don't have to be machmir, and they don't see the fruit flies, they don't have to check for them. I guess that's what he's saying. Okay, it's fine. The Chav Sign Kosovo was saying about Shulchan Aruch, so let's see if Gimel. I'm starting mine, Oshar Mashkin, so many strange water of the beverages are able to lay, and it had worms, or you have chushin, or yutushim, or other types of, chush is kind of another kind of bug, or I think yutushim here, again, probably gnats or fruit flies. Even though they went back into it, assume they're forbidden when you strain them, you remove them. Therefore, beverage which normally sprouts worms, don't strain it with twigs or with straw at night. Because then maybe they'll fall back into the vessel. If you have a stress, going to come to drink them, which would have been mutter before they're purged, but now they're purged. And mutter time they're beggar or you can strain them through a cloth or through a strainer. Because the holes are too small and fall back into the liquid. Also, you can pour the beverage from vessel to vessel. Since they remain with the beverage, that's the way they grow. And quote from the Shulchan Aruch. Volume we need to explain this further. The Gemara says, person should not pour beer over twigs in the nighttime. Maybe they're going to, the bugs will separate and go remain above the twigs, far enough and then fall back into the cup. And you will violate the prohibition against shalatzim, which are shorets on the ground. Pirush Rashi, tomorrow, we'll tell you about date beer. Which worms are prevalent. It means to say the shadow's floating. Barley beer, which there's no worms are not prevalent. We don't have to be concerned lest right now there are worms. Only thing where substances where worms are normally prevalent. Also, signed by they forbade you to strain night, but that came through wood and straw, which is on a small scale. Because a worm falls on the straw, well, you ran out, you won't see it. And then from there it's going to fall into the vessel. And the next day when you see it, yes, you'll think that never left the beer to go onto the straw. But last time I'm muteris, and therefore it remains a water worm, which is permitted. Unfortunately, only where the worm does not go through the hole of the strainer, at the same time as the beverage. But the beverage goes down, and the worm stays on the wood, or a kash on the straw, and then it falls into the beverage. Then it's also the zeu piresh mamish, because that's actually separating. But if it goes through the hole, with the mashke together, there's no problem. The galamana we also learned the rak so you concern at night. Because in the day you can see if it went together with the beverage or imlav or not. If it remains on the wood, on the straw, he'll toss it out. But at night you will not be able to see this. Chavtes. Near the headya, I think it seems explicit that this seems quite clear that in this way the Baalei Shulchan Aruch progressed. That's why they wrote water or other types of beverages. Which are worms, where we could assume they're worms. And that's that which shows even though they went back into their also come which is on top on the thing which you use for straining. That's what you say. They say you shouldn't use twigs or straw. Because then when there's a concern, the worms will remain on them. Computer Rashi. And since the holes are broad, you should swim in the 18. They'll slide themselves off the wood, bakash and the straw mashke to the beverage. But there are small holes in chashash, no concern. Therefore, they said you should use a garment or a cloth or a strainer, meaning a thin hold strainer. Ein chashash says no concern. I'm not going to fall through those holes. But there are pasha. It's clear the misnenes, a strainer which has wide holes. It's a kash. It's just like the wood and the like the twigs and the straw. That which is not specified. That has to be a thin strainer. Because most strainers generically are thin. And even with wood and with straws and with a broad strainer, there's no brishim only at night. Something which is is assumed to have. We're talking about something where it's assumed that they're worms. See, this will become clarified more later on. Lamed. I'm not making a tour from the words of Torah near being a zeh. The acheres. That's cheres. It seems that he has another page because the Shoni writes. Hamisane hamashke, some of these strains of liquid, playable shrotzim, and there were shrotzim in kashi pirshu. It's automatic. It's as if they were removed from liquid and went back. And they went back. They have been removed from the place where they grew. Therefore, a liquid in which shrotzim are generated. You can't strain it at night. Maybe they're going to go back to the vessel, and you're going to come to drink them. And they already become separate themselves from the liquid. Sure, no. You don't have to be concerned that they were poresh unless there's some sort of evidence. It's astonishing. He didn't mention that it's wood, or we're talking about twigs or straw. Maybe those answers display to what they understand it. So say indeed, it's according to him, it's not specifically wood or straw, twigs or straw. It's even a strainer. Maybe Ryan Manamir Magmar brings evidence that which more says, Kol Asher, it's a Kule, including these bugs that you strained. Of course, doesn't mean when they're strained and separate, when they fell back into the beverage. Otherwise, it's obviously passer. So we see even through the strainer, this concern. Which he wrote, that by default we don't have to assume that they were poresh, that they separate them. I'm going what he wrote previously. Beverages which are in cisterns and in vessels. They're astonishing. The drasha of the bugs that you strain, that prohibits the bugs themselves. Come for Baramba Mayan Sham. Rabusi lo nema, the Chiddush is we don't say kim since they grew in the beverage, shabakli in a vessel, and la klau shem shoretz al ha'aretz. That's the name of sheretz ha'aretz. Gamal Torah so why is it to repeat what he said previously? Therefore, I think the Torah difficulty. If you're concerned that time is straining, the worm is going to fall on the straw. There, it's going to slide into the beverage. So that's also a problem during the day. Somebody who's training, is constantly looking the roast over and to see how the worms fall back into the vessel. Into which he is straining it. For this you need strong vision. Only mine, and not to look away. We talk him and send us out of the strainer, Afrika Kalim, for a short moment. So mostly we're not concerned with this unless we have some reason to be concerned. For him, we say we say that the worm went with the liquid together. The concern must be a different concern. The Shema maybe after you after you strain the entire beverage, and the worms will remain on top. And they're going to move a long time, here and there. The beverage is standing underneath. Maybe they're going to at some point move into the beverage. That's only concern at night. During the day, when you see the worms moving around, around the beverage, you'll take the beverage away from there. But at night nobody sees. You shouldn't strain them at night. Maybe they're going to go back. A long time after they are strained, they're going to go back. That's what it concludes. You don't have to be concerned with this by default. That's the case by every straining. You should be concerned. Maybe the woman's not going to go together with liquid, as we said. So why just at night? I feel even during the day, it's your problem. So it says, by default, we don't assume there's a problem. The fees are according to Vade the Ein Chiluk Beis and Misnanis Basani. So it won't make a difference what strainer he's using, because we're concerned that they go from the strainer over the top and back into the beverage. In the brackets, he says, Shamar Bagmar Tzviyasa, that was Gemara said, twigs. We shouldn't doctor the Sinai Daisa, because that was a normal means of straining. As clear for the over the Zara. Chem B'Shas Kuflamates, also into Shabbos on here in Tziniasa. A person should not tighten Tziniasa of Orgor is Tavsa, and Orgor is Tavsa. That's true about twigs. But according to the Torah, there's no difference what he's using to strain in any event. V'duk. Mama base. But that Yishno Rambam Zal. He shmit legamri din zeh. The Rambam left out this altogether. Brakazah brek base din base. Din chov. Sorry, Bizel writes only. Hamasana is a yaitza who strains wine. As a sheikh or a beer, as a chometz or vinegar. V'achas of chushin, or he ate the bugs, or the tushin, or the fruit flies, and or the worms. Shasin in which he strained. Loke gets makas. Sheretz off because of sheretz, an airborne sheretz. Or marine sherets. Even if they return to the vessel after you strain them out, because they were separated from the place of their creation. If you didn't strain them, you can drink. Or you don't have to refrain, like we said. Arukh HaShulchan, end quote. But Dean said, Shalom signing Balayla Lokas of Klai. Didn't write anything about not straining at night. Vein Midarko Lashmi, Dean me, but first words. Doesn't normally leave out halacha, which is explicit in Gemara. We can't say that he's not concerned about Suffolk Shema Pirshu, that they might have separated. I only care Pirshu unless he saw that they separated. Which seems to be the superficial understanding of his words. The Yivshal can't say this. Gemara Chashishol is the extra time Balayla. Or it's concerned when he's training at night. Kamelo Malhevi goes against the opposite. For the kosher sin Adi Tzarech Lachush, anytime you strain, you have to be concerned. Vein Latir Sinu Rak Mishira Barur Shalopir. You can only allow straining when it's clear that they not separate. Chadil Shonel Mashmakin. First of all, it doesn't seem like that he's machir to that extent. Furthermore, the Gam Zeu Neged Gemara, this also speaks against the Gemara. Gemara Lo Chashisha Rak Balayla. It's only at night and not Lobayom, not during the day. The bracket says, I am Makish Gam Lashon Sasum It's not like the Magamishta, so we'll have to give his own answer, but that will have to be in tomorrow's Arukh HaShulchan.